Just think about it. They found him. He's coming out of the woods, ostensibly where he had just killed someone. I mean, more than likely. That's how they got him. And he was primal. He basically lived a hedonistic, primal lifestyle full of rage, and his passion was misguided. He felt passion for rage and passion for anger. With that, he felt great power, and that was the sexual release for him. It was almost like Peter Curtin, who said that the only way he could get off was to see blood. Blood spurting made him orgasm, and I think something similar could be said for Chikatilo. He was essentially Russia's version of Jack the Ripper, except far, far worse. And I think Jack the Ripper probably would have even shuddered at some of what he did, because I don't think Jack the Ripper, had he lived long enough or committed more murders, would have ever targeted children. He targeted prostitutes, women of the evening, ladies of the night, ladies of the evening. He wouldn't know. I don't think that Jack the Ripper, whoever you believe it was, whether it was Eric Kosinski or whether it was Montague John Druitt, whoever you believe that Jack the Ripper was, I don't think that he would have ever targeted children. And that's something that Chikatilo did with reckless abandon. He targeted everything: men, women, children, boys, whatever he could kill.
Whatever was weakest, to be honest. That's what he was looking for. That he could overpower.
Yeah, children. Think about it. The innocence, shattering the innocence of a child. And again, this is a theme that's been visited upon countless times. Look at Francis Dollarhide in Red Dragon. If you've ever read the book or watched the film, a lot of Francis Dollarhide, I think, is modeled after Chikatilo, or at least somewhat inspired by it. It was kindred sort of thinking. The characters of each, like the bedwetting, you dirty little beast, just poor, downtrodden kind of lifestyle, and then disabilities. For Dollarhide, it was a cleft palate, and for Chikatilo, it was the fact that he couldn't keep a hard erection. So both perceived the disabilities as, rage-inducing. And I see a lot of parallels there.
I want to mention Chikatilo also had a copycat killer. That he Alexander Pushkin. I can't remember. He was a Russian serial killer after Chikatilo was killed. And his objective was to kill Chikatilo, which he did, but he was called the chessboard killer, because he wanted to have 64 kills. He only got up to 61, I think. But he outkilled Chikatilo, and that was his thing. Like, he was, So there isn't too many serial killers that compete against each other, right? That's a unique thing.
I mean, just imagine this: your doctor goes to perform a physical, or the jail or prison doctor, and they look in your digestive tract, and inside your digestive tract, instead of regular food and candy and desserts and drinks, they find rotted human flesh. That was enough for me. Chikatilo ate not even fresh butchered flesh. He ate rotted flesh, things that had been exposed to the elements. Because, look, he ate leaves as a kid, for Christ's sake. Obviously, I don't think that the war ever really ended for Andrei Chikatilo until those guns aimed at the back of his head, and whichever person it was pulled the trigger and shot the fatal shot. I don't think the war ever truly ended. I think he was still living in his own version of that war that he lived in when he was a child. I don't think that ever left him. And I'm not so sure that, obviously I'm not condoning what he did, but I'm not so sure that what he went through didn't contribute in great amount to his final situation,
Yeah. When he was in that cage,
I mean, he had a few divisional women because of that. What's that?
I said, when he was in that cage that we talked about earlier, was he, showing everybody his dick and saying things like, oh, if you had a dick like this, you'd do this too? Like, just doing crazy shit.
Yeah, he said something about there's a quote that he said, "Look at this useless thing. What do you think I could do with that? I'm not homosexual, you know." Yeah, I mean, he was obviously disgusted with himself. But yeah.
I definitely recommend you guys watch the movie if you haven't seen it. It came out in 1995. It's got Jeffrey DeMunn in it. He plays Chikatilo, and it's very good. Very good movie. My wife and I watched it several months ago.
What was it?
It's called Citizen X. Jeffrey DeMunn, he was Dale on The Walking Dead, and the way they have him made up for this movie, he looks a lot like Andrei Chikatilo. Rightfully so. He's supposed to.
The killer department.
Well, I mean, the movie, check it out, guys. It's got Donald Sutherland, Stephen Ray, Max von Sydow, Jeffrey DeMunn, Joss Ackland, and Elvis Stanton. You got to watch it. It's good shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's also one called The Child 44. That's inspired by the Chikatilo case as well. And then Evelenko, based upon the murders of Chikatilo too, and it's got Malcolm McDowell in it as Andrei Evelenko, which is supposed to be Chikatilo.
Yeah, he looks a lot like him too in that poster.
Yeah, the one I'm looking, the mugshot.
The red one, yeah,
I was thinking so too. But yeah, I mean, Johnny, you got any other good Chikatilo quotes you want to throw out to us? Because I'm telling you, he's a sick bastard.
Yeah, I mean, we covered, but the other one that he had was the purpose of life is to leave your mark on this earth. And this is what he chose to do. That was his quote. But this is the mark that he wanted to achieve, that he wanted to leave on this earth. 53 people.
Fucking took him off the earth is what he did. Yeah.
Yep.
He's fucked. Yeah. Well, like I said, Ramirez was bad. A lot of these others we talked about are bad, and you know, for a one-off or a couple crimes, they may be as bad as him. But if you take about the fact that every one of his crimes were just awful, you know. So that's why I rank him as the worst of the worst from what I have read so far, anyway. So, and that we've covered. I don't know what else I can say about the sick bastard. Blake, you got anything else you want to throw out about Chikatilo before we move on and let Johnny throw his plugs out?
I don't have anything else to say. I think everything that could be said that, you know, was relevant has been said. He was definitely there was no one else in history like Chikatilo, and I don't think there ever will be again, especially you could copycat numbers all you want, but the intensity, the personality, his belief system, his attitude towards life, and the manner in which he killed his victims, nobody else could cop that and do it like that. He's very unique like that. And like I said, they still in Russia. I mean, he's the Rostov Ripper. I mean, he, you know, his reputation precedes him. And I think people in the 50 years will still be talking about, reading about Chikatilo. So.
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, Johnny, it's that time of the show, and thank you again for coming on. Can you throw out all the serial killer quote of the day? Social media, etc.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks again for having me. Just, you know, if you wish to go up on Amazon and get the Serial Killer Quote of the Day book, it's up there. Then there's the Serial Killer Quote of the Day on Facebook and on the web.
Awesome. Yeah, the app's one of the coolest things that I love to check every day. We used to post it up on our Facebook page, and I was like, fuck them, they need to get it themselves. So maybe we'll go back to it every so often, maybe once a week or something like that, just to kind of wet their palate. But yeah, right. Johnny, I love the work you do, and I love you coming on the show and talking to us about these fucking, I mean, some of them, like this one, are just, good Lord. This dude, like, goes beyond a serial killer. This guy was a fucking monster. But yeah. And I appreciate it, always.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Last.
Well, everybody,
take care.
Johnny Trevisani, and that's that's lowercase, by the way. And you can find the serial killer quote of the day. And yeah, always bringing the good shit for us. I appreciate it. So, Blake, you threw out something earlier to us. Talk about what's going on with the book. I've been sharing stuff on our page for you.
I do appreciate you sharing things on the page. Thank you. Give me just 1 second, okay?
Yep. Vic, are you there?
Okay, sorry about that. Good night, honey.
Sorry.
My wife's going to bed, so I wanted to bid her a good night. Now, what did you ask me, Travis? I'm sorry.
I was gonna ask you to talk about where the book's at this point, because it looked like you're shipping.
I am shipping, yes. There's ridiculous amounts of books being ordered. I am just blown away by the I'm going through them faster than I can keep them. The show was a success this past weekend, and I found out that, on CreepyCon, that weekend that I was gone, I found out I had family that was there that I didn't know about that I got to meet. Santiago Cirillo, Julio from The Walking Dead, is my wife's adopted sister's uncle. So I spent the better part of Friday and Saturday that weekend hanging out with him, talking about his book, and then of course he wanted to push my book, so that was our book, so that was a lot of fun. And then the books are shipping now. I've got an interview coming up tomorrow with a podcast that's, oh my gosh, man, I can't believe it. This one's got like 136,000 followers. So I'm like just blown away that they're wanting to focus on the book. So the book is shipping, which means you guys need to get books, don't you?
Yes, I do.
But I mean, don't let the word book scare you, because people that are the most demanding critics about books and about reading, they have loved this. I mean, they have loved it, and it's got a foreword by Rachel Talalay, which, I mean, we can't get much better than that. Bob Shea is in it. Robert England did a piece for us, and you know how close Robert and I and Mick are, so that was a lot of fun. And then they're everywhere. I got some local signings at some comic stores that I'm trying to set up. I got some stuff in Vegas coming. Screening. I think there's going to be a screening of Nightmare 4 soon. I'm going to see about attending that and doing some stuff. So, yep, just busy trying to get all that in order. It's part of the reason I was a little late getting onto the show tonight. I apologize about that.
All good. Well, it occurs to me before we even talk about what we've been watching, we haven't got to talk about Horror Hound yet.
Yeah.
We haven't got to talk about Horror Hound. And Vic's going to want to talk about Horror Hound. I know that. And Vic's just now, he's been on the line. So I'm going to let Vic talk a little bit about Horror Hound before I give my thoughts too.
Hey, Vic, how are you, brother?
What's going, brother? What's up, man? Well, Horror Hound. It was probably the best Saturday experience I've ever had at Horror Hound. It was crowded, but we navigated through it like we were professionals. I think we're finally achieving that status because we got there like 11 or whatever, and we met everybody we needed to, and we had every autograph we needed by like 12:15. So we're starting to learn how to do it right, I think. But
we knew where to go first.
Yeah, man, we met the It Kids. They were in the same room as Robert England, so Robert England took all the people. So we met all the It Kids in like a matter of like 10 minutes, which was awesome.
Awesome. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. By the way, anybody that doesn't want to meet Georgie because he's just a little kid, that little kid was fucking awesome.
Yes, he was.
He was great.
Yeah, he was.
And he was trying like some video chicks in front of us. That was pretty cool.
Yes, he was. That was great.
Yeah, it was awesome. I met Sierra Vincent from Cabin Fever, so it made me happy in the pants and in the mind.
Yeah.
But man, they moved into a brand new hotel, which was fucking amazing. The 49ers were staying there, which was awesome. I didn't get to meet them, but they were there, so that was cool. The vendor hall was, it packed like a motherfucker. It's hard to get through it, but it was easier than before, so I guess that's a plus. But all in all, man, it was probably my favorite Horror Hound experience. Probably because there wasn't a lot of hell, I came back with I still have like $200 in my pocket, and that never happens at a whorehouse.